What's up, everybody? It's day 67 of 100 Days of Codes. And it's your boy Kendall once again here to bring you the updates. So, what did we get up to today? Well, first off, we need to talk about the rules. The rules of School of Code. So, number one, we always make sure that we code 1 hour a day. Two, we keep ourselves accountable to you publicly so you know what I've been up to today. Three, we talk about our thoughts and our feelings. We get in touch with our thoughts and our feelings. So, today we had a really good day. Thursday, 30th of June, 2022. We are in week 10. We're almost done with week 10 of School of Code. And we are day 67 of 100 Days of Code. So we're doing well. We're doing good. Really proud, really pleased. Kept up with this and stayed consistent. Learned so much along the way. So today it was sort of like an amazing thing because we did our normal, we did our squats. We had Joseph in for Mindset Thursdays in for the last time, and it was good to reflect sort of on the journey. And amazingly, we had a YouTuber called Code Creative today. And Code Creative, this YouTuber, I learned so much from this guy at the very beginning of my coding journey. Before there was School of Code, I was watching Code Creative's channel. And you'll never believe it. Today, who came and was the guest speaker at our course at School of Code this morning? None other than Tom, Code Creative, the YouTuber. It was awesome. And I actually got to, during that time, I got to raise my hand, ask a question from him, and I got to thank him because it was his video, Boot Camps in 2020, on his YouTube channel, which really made me apply for School of Code, which made me aware of School of Code, right? And so the reason I'm here is because he decided to put up a video about his time and about what he would do if he had to do it over again. And he talked about doing School of Code. And that is why I'm here. That's why I'm on the boot camp. That's why I'm now 10 weeks in and why I moved into a career in tech. So it was just really cool, really reflection. Joseph today, he talked about the hero's journey and talked about our journey again. Then to have this guy who was really at the very start of my journey to push me in this direction come and talk today was really sobering and really amazing to see and think about. So that was awesome. I can't say enough about that. It was emotional. It was like, man, this is cool. Like just how it's all coming together is just incredible. I gotta say. What else did we get up to today? Well, we looked at authentication, and we looked at sort of so authentication and authorization, and we talked about some of the differences between those things. So we read some docs around those. We looked at some of the for example. From Auth0, they did some videos about this. We checked out some of those. So authentication is things like your username and password, and it's the process of proving that you are who you say you are. So it's kind of like they gave an example where if you were going to be going somewhere flying, it would be like your passport would be authentication. So it sort of says who you are, your identity, right? And it's the process of proving and saying who you are. So it'd be like username and password, right? Be like, this is that person. Then you have authorization. And authorization, it happens each time you try to access a resource. So it's verifying what a user has access to. So once you are logged in and they verify who you are, the next part is sort of like if you had a passport and you were going somewhere, it's like your boarding pass to say, now you can board this plane that goes to this destination. So that's the thing. So then you've got first your authentication saying who you are, and you've got your authentication telling you where you can go, right? So that's a little bit of sort of the differences there. So another way is that an authentication identifies a user or a device. Authorization, it gives access or rights to certain things. So we learned a little bit about that today. We also learned about sort of the pros and cons of using a third-party authentication and authorization program or ID a basic identity as a service sort of service, like Auth0, for example. Um, so we learned about a bit about that. So obviously, it takes a lot of time off you. It means that the hard work's already been done. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Things like that. It's been tested and it works. They have like large teams working on this, looking for. They have a large user base, so you know that they know about patterns and security risks that are currently coming out. They're going to be keeping track of those. So it's going to be a lot better in that sense. Some of the downsides might be the implementation of other business logics, following the standards of those business logics, giving them your user data, maybe the price, maybe a lack of flexibility. But overall, it was cool to see the different trade-offs that you have there. And you might have different needs for different projects. But overall, it seemed that the benefits outweighed the downsides. And we also then sort of went on the Auth0 website and we sort of did like a bit of projects around that. We did some code. So we had a sort of project, a React app. And then that React app, what we had to do is in this task, sort of like a ticket, is sort of go through the process of setting up an Auth0, first the login and sort of the credentials, and then sort of making that wrap around our components so that whenever somebody clicked and create a login button and a logout button, and then when they logged in, it redirected to that Auth0 page, so they had to log into those credentials. And we had to do that, and then once it was logged in, then of course it would give you access to the picture, some of the details for that profile, things like that. And then we started working on sort of the back end and making API things for the back end. So there's authentication on different sides that you can set up in Auth0. Really, really cool system. So I had fun with that as well. And what else did we get up to? Also, I did this sort of earlier on and sort of on a couple of my breaks. I've been sort of Code Creative and some other people, and Jordan, shout out to him, spoke about sort of going through Next.js. So I've been looking at Next.js, and I've been following a sort of a boot camp or tutorial from NetNinja, which is about Next.js and sort of that side of things. So I'm going to do that, and it's sort of learning how to use it. It's basically like React, but it's sort of can do more back-end stuff and also pre-renders things as well before they actually load up. So fascinating day, really exciting. And what are my thoughts and my feelings today? My thoughts are it's been a pretty relaxing week, to be fair. It seems like that there has been some challenge to it, and there's been things that we've sort of gotten feedback on, but there's also been a lot of growth, and just keeps getting more and more exciting. I just keep enjoying it more and keep wanting to learn more, and it's like it's amazing. The more that you learn and the more that you're challenged, the more you yearn for more, the more you're excited about doing more and being challenged in more ways. So it's crazy how that's the case, and you want to learn new technologies, and you want to figure out better ways of going about things and better ways to solve problems and different technologies. The more I do this, the more I'm learning that actually there's not a one size fits all, but actually there are different technologies and languages and frameworks that work better for different problems, and you might need a different solution. So you might need Gatsby for one thing, and you might need, for example, Next.js for another. So it's been a very fascinating journey. But those are my thoughts today. Whatever the case, guys, have a great, great Thursday, whatever you get up to. Day 67 of 100 Days of Code. Peace out, and we'll see you guys soon.